Peace and greetings. It's your girl Naya here. So today is day 2 of Kwanzaa. Again, I'm a day behind, but this is the video response for day 2. Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia, which means self-determination. I will link Queen Oset's video in the description bar so you can find out more about it and what it all means. So there is a spread for each day of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and I am participating. So here we are on day 2. And I'm going to just go ahead and jump in. I am using the Moonchild Tarot. Again, I think I'm going to use it for this whole series. So, self-determination. She says here that it's not just about me or you. It's about us and our community. And on day 2, you would like the red candles to symbolize the fight to persevere as we work to overcome discrimination and adversity in our day-to-day lives. The candle can also symbolize our determination to take control of our future. All people and cultures can work together for the good of the community without losing their identity, goals, and self-reliance. So let's go ahead and jump in. So the first question is the most prominent history I carry with me. The most prominent history I carry with me. Priestess. A couple of years ago, I started trying to dig into my ancestry, and one thing I would like to talk about with a lot of people of color as we dig into our ancestry, it's so, whatever we can find out can sometimes be very intriguing or interesting, but it could also be a very windy road to kind of find out things, especially when there was migration for religious persecutions and things of that sort. So it's important, while honoring our ancestors, to also honor our Egun. Egun is ancestors, but not just your blood relative ancestors. Egun are people that are also ancestors that are that can be part. So you got like your godparents, your houses, like your iles and stuff like that, and if let's say you had a grandparent or somebody who married later on after somebody was born, that person becomes part of that Egun core. Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because for the High Priestess, in my mind, she's my great grandmother, and to me she's blood, right? But she was married after my grandmother was born, something to that effect, right? You get me? But she's the only one that I knew. And now she was a spiritualist. She had the one creepy room. I remember being little and always wanting to go in that room and not knowing why. And I was like, why do you always keep the door closed? Because that was her working room. There was altars and candles and things like that. So she was very prominent in the community, and she taught me a lot of things that I still carry with me to this day, and whatnot. And now she was from, she was a dark-skinned woman. Her background is Belize, and my great grandfather, I think it's two greats, he is Puerto Rican. Now, oh God, I can't even explain my family ancestry as well as I can understand it in my head. But basically, what we did find out about this, so I feel like the high priestess coming out is a confirmation to me that she's with me, that I honor her and she honors me, and that my gifts, a lot of the gifts that I had, is a direct result from her, and what she taught me when I was very, very small. So that's kind of the most prominent history that I carry with me. Something else I found out that was interesting about my ancestry is that we were, at some point down the paternal line, we were basically Sephardic Jews. And what that means is that we were Jewish who lived in Spain. And then when the Roman Catholic takeover thing started to happen, we migrated to avoid religious persecution. So that's way down, at least 5 generations down on my paternal side. So, but yeah, my intuition is pretty fierce, and I'm realizing more and more as I've gotten older, there's just certain customs and certain things that I do that she taught me when I was very, very small, and that I've always done these things, but now is becoming more relevant in why I do these things. Like, it makes more sense now. I didn't know why I was doing them when I was 10, but now, being an adult, I get it. And it's no wonder that I, have gone down the path that I've gone down. So the next question is the traditional foundation that informed my life. I have the 2 of Cups. One-on-one communication, one-on-one contact with people, having heartfelt conversations, having spiritual conversations, with people of all walks of life. That is something that really informs me, that is, to say it's traditional, I don't know if that makes sense, but that is something that I've always known. This is not a forced thing. This is a natural occurrence for me. And I just feel like this 2 of Cups saying, the traditional foundations that inform my life, I guess it kind of goes back to saying, this spiritualist kind of tradition is where I'm most comfortable at, and what is traditional to me and what I know about my family and my heritage. The next question is how I primarily define myself. Oh, excuse me. Divine Wisdom. What card is this? Hold on a second. Oh, my card's got jokes today. Sorry. It's true though, and I'll explain in a minute. I just want to see what card that is, because it's not numbered, so that's a little disheartening. Divine Wisdom. The goddess Isis stands within a rose garden beneath the ancient caduceus and the cosmic Orphic egg, each a symbol of unity with our celestial origins to the divine. Isis is the eternal goddess and great magician, and a timeless expression of divine feminine, She encourages us to activate and reclaim our sovereignty and power and help awaken our individual and collective healing. Awakening higher self-unity expansion. Okay, so this is a bonus card in the Moonchild Tarot. I didn't realize that there was bonus cards. Interesting. All right, I want to pull a second one just to see Queen of Wands. I'm not surprised. Okay, so the reason why I laughed when I saw Divine Wisdom pop out is because when I was about 12 or so, I was trying to uncover and decode Wu-Tang Clan, right? Because they speak God body, and there's just a lot of lingo that they use that I was like, okay, what's up? What are they kicking? What are they talking about? So I got interested in all that. I started digging, found the Nation of Gods and Earth. Okay, you know, I got my degree. I mean, Erykah Badu. If y'all don't, On and On, listen to On and On. If you can't decipher her wisdom in that, then you need to do a little bit of research. Or if you are curious, let me know in the comments and I will try to explain. But anyways, so you have like the Supreme Mathematics, the Supreme Alphabet, and some other lessons from the Nation of Gods and Earths, right? So this is something that has been something else that's been ingrained in me, that is part of the way that I speak, the way that I think. So I always think, you know, the first three of the Supreme Mathematics is 1 is knowledge, 2 is wisdom, and 3 is understanding. And I've always been very keen on saying, you know, it's not, we have to encompass the all, right? We have to, oh, this is so, and so the guys would call themselves God body, and the females will call themselves wisdom body, so, or wiz body or something like that, to that effect, or queen, right? Queen is also a title that I've, you know, grown accustomed to speaking to my sisters and stuff like that. Peace, queen, how you doing? Stuff, you know what I mean? But on the other set, as far as me talking about myself, you know, I always be like, you know, wisdom body, and you know, God body, wisdom body, okay, whatever. Same difference, but it's about maintaining my integrity, maintaining my self-esteem, and my accountability for my actions, my words, how I carry myself. This is all very important. And the Queen of Wands popping up for me doesn't even surprise me, because I have a lot of fire in my astrology chart, or my natal chart rather. And so this creativity, this charisma, this go-get-em attitude, this defender of injustices and freedom, this is all runs through my blood. This is just how I am. This was part of the culture and tradition here in the United States that molded me into the woman that I am today. And I think, you know, my brothers and sisters from the Nation of Gods and Earth that kicked knowledge with me, that kicked science with me, you know, because it kept me out of trouble. And it taught me a lot about myself. I have knowledge of self. You know, there's nothing that any of you guys can tell me, or anybody who might be a hater that can tell me, that can really break my spirit. You can't, because I know who I am. I have a solid foundation. Okay. All right. Whew, that Queen of Wands started wanting to come out. Okay, my inner authentic name is the next one. 4 of Swords. My inner authentic name. The Peace Queen. I think, no, peace is the 2 of Swords. Truce, the truth queen, truth queen. Inner authentic name. This one's interesting. Let me know what you guys think about this one and what an authentic inner name could be. I'm interested here in the 4 of Swords. We have 4, we have the stability. I want to say this has a lot to do with the stability of my word being reliable, but also that sometimes I will say things and it may take me a while to get to it, but it will get done. It's one of those things that a lot of people in my life have always, they'll get surprised, right? After, if they don't know me very well, or if we're just building a relationship or a friendship or something like that, they're like, oh, wow, you did tell me you were going to do that, you know, however long ago it was. And when it finally manifests, they kind of realize like, oh yeah, I told them that. So I don't know what that means, but I feel like this is kind of like this, and not in a bad way, not in a Jungian way of projection, but a means of projection in a way to manifest what I need to manifest. So I feel like the 4 kind of being, this is like the rest card, the relax card. It's kind of like, you can rest assured on my word. So true, you know what I mean? Something to that effect. But also, I'm pretty chill, man. I'm pretty chill. I could kick it and have pretty much any kind of conversation, and it really won't irritate my soul. Not too many topics irritate me when we're conversing, because I'm very open-minded. You know, I want to learn. I want people's perspectives, and how am I to judge when I don't know how somebody was raised? So it's important to understand perspective without judgment, just to get a gauge on the whole situation. Okay, moving on. I'm trying to figure out what that inner authentic name is with that 4 of Swords. That's so interesting. Okay, how I create for myself. 4 of Pentacles. I think I may have talked about this before. Maybe I haven't. Sometimes, the same way that I will say something, I may say it 1 to 3 times, and then I'll stop talking about it. Because in order for me to create for myself, I need to hold on to that idea and that power. So here's the thing. I don't know how many of you guys have experienced this, but there are some times when you have a plan, right? Let's say you want to look for, I don't know, maybe you say you want to go back to school or something like that. And you tell every single person that you encounter that, yeah, you're going back to school, you're getting ready to go back to school, and da-da-da-da. And it's almost like, and I think this is kind of where I'm at with my deck collection now that I'm realizing it, it's like you're spreading yourself too thin, right? And so all the energy that you are using to explain what you're getting ready to do and explain why you're doing what you're going to do, because there's sometimes people don't have your best interest at heart. Sometimes people don't. There's a handful, you could count them on one hand, where people have your best interest at heart, and they're not holding any kind of contention within themselves about you. That's their problem. The only thing that I'm trying to say is that sometimes talking about what you're going to do, what you're planning on doing, your efforts can be thwarted because somebody doesn't want to see you thrive. I've had this experience many times over. So I've learned that in order to create better for myself, in order to do better and manifest for myself, and it always be reliable, for me not to talk about my plans. Don't talk about my plans. So it's hard when it's like, what are your plans coming up? I'm like, just going on the same trajectory. I have it in here. I have it in my journal. I know what I'm doing. Now here's the key, right? Once it's done and it's out there, market, explore, share. It's fine. Because what you created, what you've done, now that it's manifest, cannot be undone or thwarted by your enemies, your secret enemies, or people who don't want to see you do well. Once it's already out there, boom, there's nothing they could do. but be mad. They could just be mad. That's it. But this is how I create for myself. It's important. Holding in, this is not being a miser as far as financial things are concerned, right? I'm going deeper with this one. It's about holding on to the energy to crystallize it and to make it something concrete, for it to become realized in physical, tangible world. So that's what I'm getting from the Four of Pentacles here, for how I create for myself. Okay, how do I speak for myself? Seven of Pentacles. I think I just kind of sort of covered this. Seven of Pentacles. How I speak for myself. Yeah, how I speak for myself. Seven of Pentacles. All right. This is making me want to go deeper too. Something that I found in order to continue my self-determination and to keep it strong is to realize when I am having negative self-talk. So the Hermetic title for the Seven of Pentacles is failure. There's a lot of reasons for that. The thing is that the person in the image, even in classical Rider-Waite, this is this farmer. He's waiting to reap his crops, kind of thing. But it's more about the attitude that we hold. And negative self-talk is a very real reality for people of color. Not everyone, but there's a good majority of us out here who struggle with this, who have had to learn how to decondition themselves from certain things. And this is not to say that I have low self-esteem. This is not to say that I'm not confident in my work. But this is just to say there's a certain conditioning that happens that, the attempt to make us feel less than. But I refuse. But now, when I speak for myself to other people, I know that I'm, people have told me I'm charismatic. They feel like I'm approachable and things of that sort. Internally, how I speak for myself, this card is the perfect representation, right? I know I have all the fruits, all the seeds, all the ache growing and ripening and there for me, things that I've built. That's all my hard work, right? But I can sometimes get a little deterred. I can sometimes be like, is it enough? Right? Is it enough? Is it gonna be good? Like second questioning myself to myself. And this is not every day. I've gotten better over time. Because it's been a long road, right? Where I had to stop letting people in my life that would make me second guess myself. Stop letting people in my life that would try to deter me from my potential. And so the Seven of Pentacles comes up for me to tell this story about how we all struggle with both internal and external speech or talk, or how you speak to yourself or how you speak to others. So this is why I really try to be mindful of how I speak to others. I used to be very I used to be very curt with people, and that bothered a lot of folks. And partially I don't care, but then I had to realize that curtness could have been a projection of how others were making me feel. And because I am so sensitive, I caught that and I said, okay, how do I separate this? So mantras have been extremely helpful to replace non-helpful thought patterns into productive thought patterns. So instead of saying, oh, for example, I'm one that I used to do a lot was, I'm so fat, right? I have fat. I'm not fat. I have toes. I'm not toes, right? So what's up? So instead of focusing on that, and why I was feeling sick per se, I changed that into saying, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise, I am blessed. I am healthy. And anytime that I have some kind of weird, negative kind of cycle of words coming to me, I will recite this mantra. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise, I am blessed, I am abundant. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise. Just to shut off replace the negative self-talk, as opposed to, I'm not enough. I'm fat, I'm ugly. No, right? Because that's what the outside world wants us to think. That's what they're conditioning us to think. Mind how much TV you're watching and where you're getting your information from is so important. It's so important. There's been a significant improvement in my health, a significant improvement in my well-being just by doing that small thing. Because you are what you eat, both physically and mentally, emotionally too. So, how I speak for myself, I try to speak it truthfully as possible. I think I'm pretty truthful and realistic, and it's important to be realistic. All right, number 7, my highest aspiration. Whoa. What's up? My highest aspiration is 3 of Swords. I gotta think about this. Okay. I think maybe I have it. I think for me, my highest aspiration is to, first of all, Naya, Thryce, 1, 2, 3, right? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, love, peace, and happiness, etc., etc. I'm not gonna give out all the goods, but swords are our words, our thoughts, our perceptions, our ideas. They are important, right? What am I trying to say? All right. Anyway, swords are thoughts. I'm thinking about it like this. Swords are thoughts. And then I have my emotional body, or my etheric, astral, spiritual self. And my highest aspiration is to harmonize the two. And while this image is, typically it's like, oh God, heartbreak and all this stuff. No, of course, that's not my highest aspiration. I don't want to have heartbreak. That's the last thing that I want to do. But what I want to do is I want to really find a way of integrating my emotional, how I feel, and my mentals. I don't even really know how to explain this in absolute words, but basically to speak my truth and speak from the heart, and make that known and make that apparent. Be able to speak on what has hurt me as honestly as I talk about what makes me happy. Okay? And to let go of the hurt, but to also teach and help others through that through the lesson that I might have learned. Like if you're one of those people who learn from other people's mistakes, maybe I can help you with a story or two. I'm one of those people. Not everybody does, but I can speak on it because I know what it's like, you know. But I really think this is just talking about, this is, again, it goes back to speaking my truth, both my mental truth and both what's in my heart and what's in my mind, and allowing it all to penetrate and come out and just say what I gotta say, because I am who I am. My experiences are my own, and it is what it is. All right. So that was, I'm pretty sure that's what that stands for. I mean, especially as a higher aspiration. I've never read the Three of Swords this way before. I think I have maybe once to a similar context, a varying degree though. That's pretty deep though. That's like, bam, here it is. Okay, I've had you guys on here for long enough. Thank you for watching. So this was my spread for Kujichagulia, self-determination. Much love, many blessings. Peace.